Hello, everybody. This is Dominic, aka Amon, back with another episode. And today we're going to be filming our first pilot to the Riffs and Hits show. I've got my co-host here.
Hi, my name's Nathan, aka Chords.
And today we're going to be discussing an album. Lil Darkie recently dropped his newest album, Super Dark Man. 10 tracks, solid track list. And first we'll get into it with some basic opinions and just a little rundown of our overall opinions on the album before we go down to a track-by-track breakdown. Personally, I actually thought this was one of his better projects. I haven't heard nearly as much Lil Darkie as Nathan over here. However, I did recently rate USD on the channel, and I think this is a more well-rounded and solid album compared to USD. I like the production better. I feel like he took it more seriously, and I feel like it actually feels like an album, whereas USD felt more like a mixtape, but it was really more for the art of shitting on the government, whereas this is more for the art of being an artist and actually putting out some hard music. Nathan, what's your take?
As you said, I think it is pretty more professional than compared to his other music. Although I do really appreciate his other music and the way he, is more open about how he feels towards things.
Yeah.
But this one, I can't complain really. I really like the aspect of how he tried to incorporate maybe a little more like a Nintendo style to it, and like the way he did his beats is very old school.
Yeah, especially on the third track, I do believe, Invincible. It came right after the intro and lock-in. That track had literal Nintendo sounds on it. And pretty much for the whole album, you've got some basic synths, 8-bit sounds, little samples here and there, and then bass.
And that's the one thing I love about Lil Darkie is the amount of bass he uses. As an avid sound system enjoyer for my car, bass sits pretty close to home for me. So I really do enjoy the way he uses it.
Yeah. Nathan over here is real bass heavy. And without further ado, we'll get into the track-by-track breakdown. We talked a bit about Invincible, so backtracking a little to the intro. Super Dark Man. I thought this was a solid intro, but the production's real stripped back. You have the bass, some little like synthesizer or sound effects in the background, kind of making a little melody, and then Lil Darkie rapping over it. Nothing complicated, but it was alright for an intro. Next track following the opener was Lock-In. Another solid track. I like the beat more rather than just being some basic sound effects and bass. He incorporates a bit more into it, so the production steps it up. I feel like this track is a step up from the first, and Invincible is a step up from this. So he's progressing it with each song. Another thing I will say, everybody has these corny lines about farts and stuff. Ice Spice knows everything about that. Just go ask her. But yeah, one of the first lines on this track is,
"You think you're the shit, bitch? You're not even the fart."
So yeah, it is what it is. Nathan?
I can't believe he actually tried to include a fart joke into his music. It is not something I was expecting from Lil Darkie. Not at all. And I really do enjoy Lil Darkie. So it was a little weird hearing that.
Yeah.
I cannot argue, but I will say this song, it's pretty good. I can't complain about it. I do believe he's got some better ones coming up, but
Yeah, solid track though.
yeah.
And next one, third track, we already talked a bit about Invincible with the little retro samples and Nintendo-esque sound. Another solid track and one of the better tracks on the album. It's probably top 4 on this album for sure for me.
I could agree. I really do like that he is including a newer show into some of his music. Still staying modern with how he's doing stuff. But
And speaking of the whole Nintendo-esque video game theme, the art on this album actually is sort of a Nintendo-esque cartridge style with the game theme.
yeah. And I mean, I'm a pretty big artist myself. So I really do enjoy the aspect he tried to go with it. I like how he kind of switched it up. It wasn't more of his drawings, more detailed and very I don't know how do you put it, rendered. It's more rendered compared to most of his covers, especially with him being in space and, of course, portraying the whole Superman look
Yeah.
and, going for the super dark man instead of Superman.
Yeah, we went from this to this. Next track on the album, Don't Play. A solid track. Again, I don't like it as much as Lock In, though. I feel like it's a step down from Invincible and Lock In. So he sort of like goes up and then
Kind of dips
plateaus back
down.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little cave there.
Yeah. After that is Peas, which I would put on par with Don't Play, honestly. I feel like listening to those two back to back, it keeps you interested in the album, but it's not like, oh my god, this is an amazing song.
Yeah.
Until you get to I Know People.
Mm.
Another one of the top 4 tracks on the album. But if you actually pay attention to the lyrics, it's probably one of the more depressing songs on the album. I actually sat and listened to the song, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But, it is cool that he did chose this song as the one to release before the whole album,
Yeah, as the lead single.
which makes sense. I can see why he went for that. It definitely makes you want to listen to the album when it came out.
Yeah.
Definitely grabs your attention.
And I feel like it is pretty solid and representative of the album as a whole with the production and the style he went for on it. So, good lead single there. And next, carrying on with that hype energy, another one of the top 4 tracks on the album, I feel like, Can of Sprite. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love Can of Sprite. He really took me for a loop for that one.
Yeah,
I was not expecting his approach for Can of Sprite, especially with the title.
yeah.
I wasn't sure what to expect.
I was honestly expecting it to be a more funny whack track. I thought I was gonna like it a little less and it was gonna have a bit of corny production, but no, he did good with it. He did good with it.
Absolutely.
And the next track, arguably one of the best ones on the album, if not the best one.
Personally, my
Goddamn.
favorite.
Yeah.
So for Goddamn, which immediately comes in strong. Love it. The what is it? Synthesizers that he's using.
Yeah.
Very unique for this one. He apparently still has this kick on lying and saying he has a platinum plaque. He mentioned it in Humans and Monsters as a joke, saying he'd be a good politician or a news anchor, which I thought was pretty fucking funny. But in this, he's still mentioning that he has a platinum plaque, and I think that's very cool, even though he doesn't.
Yeah. He hasn't been confirmed to have any platinum plaque or enough sales or streams that have been reported to the I believe it's the RIAA. So he does not have a platinum plaque hanging on his wall, unfortunately, nor a gold plaque yet.
I just really enjoy how he keeps referencing that from his previous music.
Yeah.
Still keeping it original, but new at the same time. Like, trying to advance his knowledge on music and rap. But,
Yeah. Random comment here, since this is like after this track, I feel like we drop off a bit. I wanted to point this out. The record is entirely composed, produced, written, recorded, and artistically made by Joshua, aka Lil Darkie. So that is a good feat in itself. This is something you see people like Travis Scott and Kanye only doing when they're first starting out. And then when an artist blows up and gets big and huge and gets a fan base, they tend to branch out and they take off more responsibilities and put them on other people. But at the same time, I feel like you lose some of that personality that's there with the music. Lil Darkie's still at the size where he's continuing making the majority, if not all of this stuff himself. So we'll see where he goes from here and how his size and popularity influences that.
like how he's like not constantly wanting to do it for money.
Yeah.
Like it just seems from the heart and just something he enjoys.
Yeah, like he's having fun with it.
And that's really what you need in music.
Yeah. Anyhow, the final 2 tracks, Inconceivable and Pay to Fee. They were more solid tracks, but not nearly as good as Goddamn or the others. It was a sort of a drop off in the album, I feel like. And I'll be real, I didn't pay as much attention to those 2 tracks. They sort of became background music for me. But they still fit in with the project well. I feel like overall it's a well-rounded album.
Very consistent.
Yeah. And it was only 10 tracks, so he didn't try to stretch it out. It wasn't like unbearably long, but it wasn't super short either. It was just the minimum length for an LP or an album.
I'm not saying like consistent as in like, how we just talked about going up and down. Just like overall the music matched what was going on in the album.
Yeah, the production themes all lined up. It felt like it could have been a concept album, like The College Dropout or Graduation or something, rather than just being a mixtape where it's all over the place and strung out.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, personally, if I had to give this an album a score from 0 to 10, I would give it a solid 7 or 8 compared to the rest of Lil Darkie's catalog.
I was about to say like maybe an 8 is where I'm sitting right now, and I really enjoy Lil Darkie, so I'd say that's a solid rating for him right now, especially for this album.
Yeah. Obviously, cultural impact, stuff like that, we're not going to be talking about that at all, because Lil Darkie's new. He's still, like, coming up in the game. However, in the underground scene, he definitely is big and deserves his props. And I feel like, if anything, he's helped popularize that heavy use of bass and grittiness that you're seeing throughout music, similar to how Corpse did back in the day, with his deep voice and his bass used in his songs. But Lil Darkie's taken it to a higher level. And he doesn't do the depressed emo boy stuff. He's actually doing it to a, hype, bigger, grander scale, taking this stuff to concerts, getting the mosh pits moving. He knows how to command a crowd, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows the direction he wants to take his music. Even if it's not the direction the rest of the industry is going to go in, he could care less.
He's doing what he wants to do in the way he wants to.
Yeah.
And that's what I really enjoy about him. And I will mention something because, like, I went to one of his concerts up in, I think it was Cincinnati. And when we went there, the opening act was something you wasn't expecting. He was doing, it was weird. It was like puppets for dinosaurs. And it was pretty much like, it almost felt like a kid's educational program where everybody brought you to the gym. And
wait. Was Lil Darkie doing the puppets, or was
no,
it was just a puppet?
Yeah,
dude.
It was just a group of people just trying to help promote like being healthy for the earth.
Was it a song?
No, no. It was literally just like, hey, respect the earth. Treat it well. We kind of need it, and that's something I appreciate. Like, even if he makes this all kind of music and he's all loud and hates the government, he still appreciates peace. That's all he's about, is peace for all of the world. And that sits pretty nice, like pretty home with me, because like that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
But the concert in general, loved it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, everybody tries to say that concert tickets are inflated in price and it's dying out. And sure, maybe that's the case. I see less people at concerts, and a lot of big artists have had to cancel their tours because of a lack of sales. But these smaller artists who are doing more affordable shows, I guess you could say, and who are trying, you should go out and support these people, because it's them who are taking the next step and continuing to make music, art, and make it fun for everybody else rather than making it corporate and soulless. So support your independent artists, people.
Exactly. It's what matters.
Yeah. Well, this may have been a shorter episode, as it is our pilot, and we will be doing more episodes to come. But without further ado, I think that's going to do it for the discussion on the album. There is one thing I would like to mention, completely unrelated to Lil Darkie, however, and that is the color wheel.
Oh, I forgot about the wheel.
Yeah. So, at the end of every episode, we plan to spin this wheel, and it has a bunch of different albums written on it. I believe it is 12 albums written on this wheel. It will select one, and we will be reviewing that one in the next episode.
I also have an idea. How about we have them suggest some ideas?
Yes. You suggest ideas in the comments, and I actually have some comments with suggestions that I never reviewed, so we'll go back through those. And whoever we land on will review your album. And give you a shout out too. Why not?
So, you want to give us a spin?
Here we go. Yeah.
So we're actually going over this. Okay.
So I wrote this one on there as a joke, everybody. It's Zuminati by
Zucchini?
Yeah. And apparently he is an Atlanta-based African American artist who uses medieval samples and instruments in his music. So, we'll be rating this one in the next episode, everybody. Stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's going to be it. I've been your host, Dominic, aka Amon, with my co-host,
Chords or Nathan, whatever you prefer.
And that was all for our pilot episode. If you enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell, because what the hell? Leave a like and drop a hype. It really helps us out. Check out Nathan's channel over here, link in the description. And if we don't see you next time, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.